Hi everyone, my name is Chris Martin. Welcome to Keto with me. It is day 17 on my journey back into keto. New to my channel? Check out my day 0 video to get the insights and reasons for creating this video series. All right, let's check out the clip. All right, that was my day 17 clip, folks. So let's start with the numbers. Right off the bat, I only had 6 carbs yesterday, and 2 of those carbs were counted in my coffee, and I know some people don't count carbs in their coffee. I just put a single carb in each one. It's just a number that I assigned it. The reason I did that is I remember watching a video, I think it was by Dr. Boz or something one time, and she was talking about how, like if you look in the chronometer app and their stuff is highly accurate, it says it's like 2 point something. I don't know if I 100% agree with that. I think it might be based on the coffee. I don't know if it has to do with the fiber. I really honestly don't know, but you'll see 2 carbs. You'll see a carb for each coffee I drink. So it's kind of interesting to say you're fasting, but then you're listing a carb. So again, we define our own fast. So that's the number I'm going with. So 6 for the day. Wow, that's great for me. Blood glucose is 97. That's, I believe, 5 days under 100, up from yesterday, but not worried about that right now. Actually, I'm not worried about it at all because it's going in the right direction. Ketones, 2.0. Yesterday, they were 2.1, still in the 2s. That's pretty good. So I'm happy with that number. Now, this is the number that I'm really tickled with. I know I said I wasn't like, super goal-oriented with my weight, but, it is a factor and it does get me excited about things. 219. I finally broke into the, the under the 220 range, which is always a milestone for me. Anytime I've ever, gotten heavy and then lost weight, when I get into that, this is the range where, I notice usually a shirt size, maybe a pants or 2 size change. And so it's just a very, very, very exciting number. Plus, the closer I get to 200, the more excited I get. I mean, I got a ways to go, but still very exciting. Fat, carb, protein. So for my fats, I had 111, I'm sorry, that was the actual grams. 72%, on the fat, carbs are 2, and then 26 on the protein. So pretty good day. If you looked at the day, on the clip, it was starting to turn into my fairly typical, fasting type of day. Very, very good. Had a good fast. We'll share that in the goals. And then an update from yesterday. Things are moving along. Yesterday I shared a video and some information about, what do you do if you get a little constipated and so forth. I got some magnesium citrate, off of Amazon, just the pill form this time, and I tried a couple of those. The serving was like 3, so I kind of went easy on it. I only took 2 capsules, and it seemed to work. It seemed to help get things moving and help relieve me and stuff. So everything's very positive right now. I can't think of anything else that I did yesterday that is of significance. So, all right, folks, let's move on to the goals. All right, let's see if how day 17 went and how I'm doing on my goals for week 3 and whether or not my pit of success is still working. So right off the get-go, you'll see that under sleep, I've got 7.5 and 0 up. If you remember yesterday, I also had, I was around 7, and then I was 0 up as well. So 2 days in a row, I have not been, I should say I haven't woken up and either went to the bathroom or just woken up, period. So I think that's fantastic. So I'm still in the better category on that. I feel great about that. I feel like I'm rested from that. So that's fantastic. Let's move on down to the eating keto category. And under there, right now I'm fasting. I got good old fasty with me. And yesterday I was able to do 20 hours and 45 minutes. I had actually kind of planned to do, around the 2 o'clock range, 2:30 anyway, but I had planned on breaking it around 2:30, but then I ended up getting stuck on a call with a coworker, so that actually stretched it out. And I really wasn't chomping at the bit. I just kind of had planned on that. So I put myself in beast mode for that because that's way above where I can be. So and we'll talk more about that when we get to the videos, the video recommendation for today. So style, still eating dirty clean, as much emphasis on clean as possible. Yesterday was leftovers day, so you'll see that some of those same foods that I had over the week, we had for I had for my snack, and then I also had for my dinner. So moving on from that, I already shared with you as far as the macros are concerned, I already shared with my daily recap that, the macros are for carbs, I was at 6 carbs. That's fantastic for me. I love when it's as low as possible. Again, under 20 is I guess the ultimate mark. But again, I would have been okay for this week being under 40. And I already experienced one time this week when I accidentally ate a little too much and was just under 30. So that's why I have the range. Moving on to learning, you're going to see 2 videos under there. I've got a good video today, another good video by Dr. Boz, but I had watched an entire video and and it was a part 1, and I knew I was looking for this part 1, part 2 series, but when I went to find a part 2, I couldn't find it. So I was like, well, I better see if there's something else she's saying because I can't find this part 2. So I found an updated version of each, a new recording, so I had to watch that new one. So it was just good because, it had updated information, I would love to always share the latest and greatest, but sometimes you have to go through some of the old stuff to get to the newer stuff. So I should be, I'm sorry. I have it marked 3 on here, 3 videos for the week, but technically I could move myself over into the best category. I'll move that over tomorrow. It's not a big deal here. So doing great there. Tracking, same old, same old. Got my journal, logging it all in chronometer. Things are looking good. As far as meditation goes, I had two 5 minutes, one in the morning, one in the afternoon, just again, those chill sessions. Like to have more time for it, kind of busy right at the moment. And last but not least, I have an exercise category, and in that exercise category, I'm not doing anything right now. I've mentioned that several times. Okay, that's it for my goals, folks. Let's take a look at the video recommendation. Today's video recommendation is another video by Dr. Boz. The title of the video is, a little long here, Keto Diet for Beginners, The Ultimate Guide to Keto 2021, Part 1. So it's a mouthful to say. It's about 9 minutes long. Obviously, it's a 2-parter, so you're going to get the other one tomorrow as my recommendation. It's a fantastic video. So just a little backstory. When I started keto in I want to say I said it's about 4 years ago, 3.5, 4-ish years ago. I started watching a lot of Dr. Boz stuff, and at one point, it was in early 2020. She had a course that she offered, and I was a pilot. I was in the pilot course for it. So I got to see a lot of the early beginnings of like her first presentation of this, to the general public, so to speak. And it's amazing to see where it is now and how well laid out it is. This, you'll see in the video that she gives you a map. She has this really nice chart. It talks about like, this is what it's like as a beginner, this is what it's like when you got your baseline metabolism, and this is what you do if you really want to go like crazy. One thing to note right off the bat is, she has a timeline too, and here she says, the first 4 to 6 weeks will be like this, and when you get to your baseline metabolism, this is where you live at. But then, if you want to get to another level, occasionally you got to stress your metabolism, and you do these things occasionally to stress it, So it has a lot of detail on it. You'll see when you watch the video, this slide has, I'm sorry, the little, looks like a table, but it's a map, that explains exactly where you're going, what's probably going to happen with you. So she probably would watch, if she watched my series, she'd be like, Chris, why are you showing them like, the ketone, the blood ketone strips, because she doesn't even recommend that until you get into your baseline metabolism, which could be like 6 weeks or so. And remember, folks, I'm an experienced ketoer. I've been through all this before. I was able to, I know the cravings would go away. I should say, I knew the cravings would go away. I knew that, I know there's light at the end of the tunnel for everything. So it's easier for me. So if you're watching my series going, I'm going to do exactly what Chris does, and then I'm going to get the same results. And, I would not necessarily do that. What I would do is say, okay, he's pointing me to the folks that can, get me there. But at the same time, I can see what he's doing. I can see how he lives in this, baseline metabolism and so forth. And so it gives you something to shoot for. So I'm not like, I hope you don't look at it and go, I got to follow exactly. Plus, you see what I eat. Sometimes you might be like, oh, I'll eat that too. The same as like if you share a comment and say, hey, have you tried to eat this? I'm going to read that and go, man, that sounds good. Maybe I should try that. So some other interesting things about this. It's got a lot of great science in it. She has, at one point she was in there talking about like it takes a little time. She lists that 4 to 6 weeks and so forth. She says you might have buckets of insulin breakthrough. I thought, wow, that's probably a good way to say it. And another thing she points out that is very, very, very important that I think, gets missed a lot on this, ketogenic eating lifestyle, is that the requirement, so to speak, of getting higher fats. In my first week, I said I didn't care about the fat. All I cared about was the carbs. That's true. But as I moved into 2 and 3, and as you should do, if you do kind of what I do and just get the carbs down first to make the transition easier, then go to the high fat, I think it makes it a lot easier. But she stresses that it is a low carb, high fat diet, not just a low carb diet. So it's very, very important that you get to the point where you're getting some kind of fats. For me, it really works to help supplement with some MCT. It gives the good burst of energy. It helps with ketones. So you'll see that. I mean, if I didn't have the MCT in there, I probably would be down around the 40-50% range on the fat, and I would need to find another way to do that. So you just look for fattier foods, and so forth, which just sounds so contradictory to what the American Medical Association has told us over the years with they call it the SAD diet, but the standard American diet. So she also mentions the you'll know because you'll have an accidental meal skip. I love it that it's the same thing. She also mentions what's called keto adaptation. That's where your body is now adapted to using ketones, and that takes time to do it. So that my body went right back into it pretty quickly. So that's again why I'm moving a little faster. And I love that it just has a timeline. I love that it has something you can look at and say, I kind of expect, I'm looking at it on the screen right now, folks. you know, that you could be under here and read this, and it tells you that you should, you know, be about here, and you know, and then you should switch to 2 meals a day, and then you should switch to here. You know, it's very, very easy to understand, but also detailed enough that if you wanted to, you know, like the detail for it, you can have. Tomorrow I'll share a part 2 of it, and then that's it for today's video recommendation. Well, that's it for day 17, folks. Thanks for watching today's video. Please like and subscribe to Keto with me. If you got any comments or questions, please leave them down below. Remember, none of us are perfect. Please be a coach, not a critic, and take care.